Welcome, guys. We're going to take you on a quick tour of our warehouse, USA Gundam Store warehouse. So we're going to come through here. So when you first enter, guys, you are going to enter into our storefront where we have hundreds and thousands of kits. Anything that is in stock on our website, we can absolutely get you here. So you will come in and shop as you may. But we're going to take you back, guys, and see some really cool stuff behind the scenes here. We're not going to let you guys see the code, though. So as we come back, guys, you're going to come right into where our packing area is. Every day we ship out anywhere from 300 to 1,000 orders a day, give or take what's going on. Obviously, right now is Christmas, so we are busy, busy, busy. We are definitely getting those 1,000 orders out every day if we can. But this is definitely a packing area. Every red tote you guys see is a individual order. So each red tote is somebody that went online, ordered from our website, which we are definitely thankful for. If you have ordered from us, you hopefully have gotten one of our stickers that we print here in-house, which definitely helps, brighten up when you open that box and you get some, free stuff. So we're going to move this way, guys. And what you're going to see next is our big storage area of the warehouse. Guys, this is where we keep thousands and thousands and thousands of model kits from Gundams, from different mecha, from car models, planes, tanks, trains. I might have already said cars, so if I did, forgive me. We sell Mecha Musume, Legos. We sell other building block brands, paints, tools, all the supplies you could ever want here in this warehouse. So we definitely have a plethora of different things that we can offer you guys. So we're going to come right through here, hopefully not getting anybody's way. We have already seen the packing area, so we're kind of back here. But as you can see, we also have pickers. So we have what are called packers who pack the orders, and then pickers who pick the orders. They work together to try to get your orders out as fast as we possibly can. And we're going to sneak right around Karen here, so we're not bothering her and she's able to get stuff picked up. And guys, what we're going to show you next is behind the scenes, but you've probably already seen it, is Zach's office. So right behind this door here, we're going to see if he's in there. Is this Zach? Zach? Oh, and there is Zach.
Hello.
So we are going to let him keep building what he's building so he can get you guys out some videos and some reviews. Our next stop is definitely going to be maybe some cool stuff, but it's going to be where our office staff sits. So through here, we're going to see our customer service, which is Aaron, and then D is over here. So hopefully you guys have talked to one of them. If you've emailed or called in, Matt is our IT, and then Mika, you've seen her lately on a video. She is our marketing manager, and then Derek is in charge of our warehouse and making sure everything's coming in. We also have our warehouse cat, Callie, making sure this warehouse stays safe and free of all mice and anything else they could get in. That's the tour, guys. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the interview.
All right, so we are now in Adam's office.
Yes.
At the Gundam store, and Now we're gonna do kind of like a podcast that we normally do. We're gonna ask him some questions, ask you about your journey with Gunpla as well as starting a Gunpla store.
Awesome. Let's get into
So
it.
the first question is, who are you today?
So who am I today? That is it's a good question. It's could be difficult, but today, probably what I am most days. I'm a father, a husband. I'm a business owner, and I am still a kid at heart. So that's who I am today, and probably most days.
And happy birthday! I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
learned that it's
Thanks.
your birthday today.
Appreciate
So
it.
happy birthday!
Try to keep that secret. Just let everyone know. So
Now everyone would know.
yeah.
So please wish him a happy birthday in the comments. So I guess we'll start off with you before we get into the store.
Yeah.
But we want to ask, like, how did you get into Gundam and Gunpla and this whole hobby, basically?
Yeah, so probably most people my age saw Gundam Wing on Toonami. So
Toonami.
growing up, when I was in like middle school, high school, Toonami would show up on Cartoon Network, and we'd watch Dragon Ball Z. Gundam Wing was on there, and just as a teenage boy, robots were awesome, and they were shooting other things. So it's cool. So I liked watching the show. I went into Toys R Us one time with my family and saw model kits they used to sell there.
No grades, I think it
They
was.
they were graded, but what they did was they made them like level 1, level 2.
Oh, okay.
And so if anyone's seen the old commercials where it's like level 5, I think level 5 was a perfect grade or master grade. Maybe level 4 was a master grade. So they did it weird like that. So I got a few different wing model kits from there. Built those up, and that's kind of how I got into it and got excited about it. It kind of left the US, and then later on Gundam Seed came on, and that just kind of got me back into it, and then I haven't looked back since.
Okay. So Gundam Wing and then Gundam Seed. I feel
Yeah.
like that's pretty common, or like the normal transition into, I guess, Gundam, becoming a Gundam fan,
Yeah.
especially in the US.
Because a lot of people, I think after Gundam Wing there was G Gundam, but
Okay.
hopefully all your viewers know, if they've watched our channel at all, I hate G Gundam.
I don't like it.
So
I don't like. It's so goofy.
it is a little goofy. People always give me, pushback on it, but I am an avid disliker of G Gundam.
I'm right with you.
Great designs, though. I did not like the story.
Yeah, it just. I mean, the kits are nice, but the designs are just too much.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
it's just too much. So that's how you got into Gundam, and
Yeah.
I guess you got the kits from Toys R Us,
Mhm.
and then did you get more serious into the Gunpla hobby? Like, how was that?
I did. So once Gundam Seed came back, and I started watching that, I got more into it. Toys R Us didn't sell them then because they I think Bandai kind of split ways with them here in the US. But a lot of hobby stores like Hobby Town, there used to be one that was pretty close to here that I would go to, and I'd get the model kits. I think my first one that wasn't a Gundam Wing one was a 1/100 no grade red frame Astray.
Okay.
Which is actually in the build room, so I can show you
Oh,
that. Yeah,
that's
it's still in
okay.
the build room.
You still
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then just got kind of back into it then. I got more into detailing. What I wanted to do is every kit that I bought, I wanted to learn something new. So a different
Okay.
way to do things, a different skill. So one would be, the first one was a straight build. Then I wanted to learn how to maybe paint something, maybe learn how to scribe a little more, use claw plate, use some LEDs.
The whole progression.
Yeah, so that's what my goal was, and sometimes it worked out really well, and sometimes I needed to get 1 or 2 more kits with that skill set to kind of get it where I felt a little bit more comfortable. But
So you did get into like painting your kits and customizing. Did you ever enter competitions as
I
well?
never did, sadly. It wasn't that big, so I mean, we're talking. I don't think GWC even had the US in its thing during that time period because I don't remember when Seed like this was. Oh, I'm gonna date myself. I graduated 2004, so this would probably be like 2004, 5, 6 ish. I don't even remember if GWC was a part. US was even part of it
I
then.
don't think it was.
So
Yeah.
and it was not very popular here in the States. So I doubt there was even competitions going on back then.
That's surprising that you kind of got pretty like into the hobby like back then when like
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't that easy to find kits because like after
Yeah.
Toys R Us.
So there was a few stores online, but I mean, we would go. I mean, Hobby Town's where I would go to find
Hobby
them. And
Town,
if they had
okay.
it, then I would buy it. If not, then obviously I couldn't.
Do you still build?
Yeah,
Oh, you
not
still-
as much.
Okay.
So the older I get, the less time I have. The business takes up a lot of my time. Then I have 3 kids.
Yeah,
Those
being
take
a
up a lot of my
father.
time. And then my wife wants time. Just things around the house need to get done. So kind of older you get, the more responsibilities you have, and that time kind of fills up. So there's never enough time in the day.
Right.
That's why I do like build days when we have them here, because
Hmm.
I can usually sit down and get somewhat of a kit done. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think I built 2 or 3 kits last year.
Okay.
So did get some building in, but nowhere near what I wanted to
When
get done.
you say building, you mean like customizing and all that, or
S-
just snap building?
Snap building.
Snap building.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
one I got snap built, what I like to do is build the kit first, see what it looks like, and then kind of in my head look at it, draw on it with a pencil, maybe what I want to do, figure out a
Hmm.
color scheme. So I got 2 of the kits kind of that stage on what I want to do, what colors I want, but I still
You don't have
yeah,
time. Okay.
one day.
One.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll transition into how you ended up creating this entire
Right,
thing.
yeah.
So what inspired you to even open a Gunpla store, or I guess a model kit store? It's much bigger than that
It
now,
is.
but
It started as a Gundam, just strictly just Gundams. It started because I wanted money for myself to buy more of this stuff, and not get yelled at because we didn't have money to buy it.
okay.
So I figured maybe I could start something. I could get it a little bit cheaper at wholesale, sell some, make some money, and I wouldn't get yelled at so much for buying it. And it just kind of blew up. I worked for a bank at the time. I was a branch manager for them, and then just kind of worked there, and then did the business, and then at some point I had to decide which one I wanted to choose. So chose better working for myself than somebody else.
How was that like early stages?
So I mean, it's scary, like any transition into something new would be.
Right.
If I was to tell anybody, if they're on the edge of making kind of a decision like that, just go for it.
Hmm.
You'll regret not doing it. But no, it was definitely a scary time. You sat down with my wife, had a conversation with her on if this is what I can probably pay myself. It's definitely going to be a pay cut from what I was making at the time at the bank.
Right.
But I'll have more time to focus on it and grow it. So we agreed to kind of take that leap and go down that direction, and I mean it's done pretty well. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a early like it's an investment
yeah,
basically,
yeah.
but it looks like it paid off.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I tell everybody my hardest negotiating ever was to convince my wife to let me have $600 to start this. So this all
Ooh.
started with $600 in my garage, and
Oh
yeah, you
wow.
guys hopefully just all saw the tour. So yeah,
That's a that's a crazy
yeah,
story. So, what was the progression of like starting with $600
Mhm.
all the way into a warehouse with probably millions in inventory?
Yeah.
So,
Slow at first. Started like I said with $600 in my garage, and you slowly get stuff in, sell stuff, get more stuff in, and kind of build your basically income base for the business, so that
hmm.
you can buy more. So at one point in time, maybe you only buy one of a certain kit. The next time you can order 2 of that kit, so maybe you
Okay.
can stay in stock a little bit longer. Then when you sell 2 of those, maybe hopefully you can get 3 of them. So it's it kind of slow at first, but you kind of hit a point where you can kind of ramp it up. And with any business, you got to be smart about it.
Right.
Because you don't want to try to get too big too fast, because then you can
Hmm.
get fall into a pitfall where you don't have the cash flow you might need to when you start hiring employees, things like that. So you
Right.
want to make sure that you have a good plan in place, and have a good mindset to know what the business needs at what time it needs.
Do you remember the first kit you ever sold? Do you happen to remember
Oh
that?
geez. No.
Okay.
I know. So there was a model kit book
Okay.
that came out. I have a copy somewhere here in my office, so I'll show you. I remember getting like 400 of them, and the time I think it was like $1,000 or something like that. And my dad was like, "Are you sure people want to buy that book?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I think they do. I'm pretty sure." He's like, "All right." I remember that conversation, and then so I remember those books at the beginning did really well because we started on eBay first, and that's where
Oh,
we were
okay.
selling. Our first things that we actually sold on our own website was those books.
Okay.
So those books helped kind of start our own website and come off of eBay. But we did start on eBay selling Gundam models at first.
I know that you start on your garage, and I know we're in the warehouse,
Mhm.
the big one now, but you also used to have a smaller one. Did you have,
Yeah.
and then a one, I think another store before
So
that.
we've
So,
gone through 4 different
mm-hmm.
warehouses. So from the garage, we went to a 1,500 square foot warehouse.
Okay.
And then we went to a 3,000 square foot warehouse. And then actually right across the parking lot is where we were
Right.
before that. That was 10,000 square foot. And then this building is 20,000 square feet. So hopefully this building we're in for a little while. I don't like moving. So
I
it's a
can
lot of
imagine.
work.
I can imagine with the tour, but
Right. It was nice because when we moved from across the parking lot, we literally just wheeled everything over here. If we have to pack stuff up in a truck, it's going to be a lot of truckloads. It'd be a lot of work.
do you plan on staying in this location, or until, because I imagine like moving to a different state or something like that would be quite difficult. I
Yeah,
would cry.
right. I mean, we're all my family lives here. All my wife's family lives here.
Oh,
So
okay.
Florida, I mean, this area is where we'll be. We maybe in the future might move to a bigger warehouse,
Hmm.
or maybe we'll have 2 separate warehouses around this area, but it'll always be in this area.
And so was moving location just because your inventory was getting bigger, and you have more
Yep. Yeah. So space
space?
is a big thing. Being able to design this building how we wanted and lay
Mm.
it out. In our other building, like the packing area was really confined.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard for them to move around. So more space, being able to lay out like where all the shipping boxes are, where all the tape's gonna go. Just having a roller to move all the totes down the line, where to put those orders after we box them up and put them in places. All that kind of helps that workflow be more efficient, which means we can ship more orders out faster.
I heard you designed a couple of things for the warehouse, like when you moved, and also I know with like lights and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we wanted it to be as energy efficient as possible. So
Okay.
all of our lights are motion censored. So
Uh-huh.
when you walk under them, they'll turn on, and then
Mm-hmm.
after 5 minutes, I think it's after 3 minutes, they kind of dim, and then after 5 minutes, they turn off. This building actually is $150 less a month than our other building, and our other building was half the size. So our other building was very expensive to run electric wise, whereas this building is basically cheaper than that building and double the size of that building, which is nice.
Is electricity usually like your highest like utility
So yeah,
cost?
it's definitely the highest utility cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it's a pretty big warehouse, so
But we
uh,
have air conditioners which take up. So during like wintertime, like right now, the air
it's
conditioners are
nice.
turned off, so the electric bills are cheaper. But those the we have 4 ACs in this building, and those usually take up a lot of energy.
And it gets hot in Florida too. It
Yes,
gets
it
really,
does.
I can
Hot and humid.
imagine.
Yeah.
So, what's your typical day of running the store looks like for you?
Yeah, it's different every day, um, but also the same every day, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes any sense. So I come in and usually, we have what's called the item of the day. So I'll switch that over. I'll have a meeting with our marketing manager certain days. I'll have a meeting with Zach certain days, our customer service certain days. So usually I'll have a meeting
Okay.
um, every day with one of our departments. I'll go out and make sure, I always try to make sure to ask everyone how their day was after work, say good morning to everybody. I think it's important to greet everybody when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it easier for them to come to me if they have problems or they need to talk about something. So I always try to do that. And then the rest of my day is either building items, doing marketing stuff, getting on phone calls. Earlier today, I had a phone call with switching over to a different customer service software.
Okay.
So we use software right now, and we're looking at maybe doing something a little bit better that kind of integrates with our website better. So like if somebody sends in a ticket that has a problem, our customer service doesn't have to go to a different website to see their order. It pulls it all up right there on the same thing. So that's pretty
Okay.
neat. Things like that are my typical day. Meeting customers that come to the storefront is always important. Try to think what else. Checking stuff in. I'll pack orders, especially now this time of year. I'm usually out there
You
for
gotta help
at
out.
least for 2 to 3 hours. Usually packing orders myself,
Oh wow. Okay.
because you got to try to get everything out. Yeah.
How do you pick the kit of the day? I know it's like a fun thing that you guys have been doing on your Instagram. If you haven't seen
Right.
on the site, but you have like usually the cat do a little cameo and
Yeah.
show off the kit. But is
Uh,
there a way you pick it, or is it?
there's different reasons we pick it. Sometimes that we have a lot of an item that
Mm-hmm.
we just kind of want to lower our inventory of, so we'll put it up for that reason. Or it'll be something that we know is getting reprinted again.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's kind of on the way, so we can kind of get those up there. Sometimes I just want a cool kit that I know is popular, and we can help people get a little bit cheaper.
Okay.
So I think we had the Master Grade New
Yeah, a few
Burkhaw
days
was up the
ago.
other day. That's always a popular kit, but why not, discount it so people that normally can't pay that higher price
Right.
are still able to get it at a lower price, which is cool.
Yeah, make sure to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on the site and also Instagram. You can see it every day. Every
Yes.
day it changes. So I've had a couple of days where I bought a kit
Oh yeah.
the day before, and then
Oh
the
no,
day
I'm sure that
after.
happens.
Yeah, it happens.
You're like,
So
oh, I should have waited one more day.
just wait one day, but it's a little bit of a gamble
Right.
sometimes. So I guess talking about a little bit of the kits and sourcing it, what are the difficult parts? I guess the challenges you face when it comes to sourcing, not just Bandai but also third party, but I guess yeah, Bandai primarily.
Hmm. So there's a lot of challenges go into it, and every company is a little bit different. You'll have companies that we work with that are in China that
Hmm.
we literally order from the factory. We can tell them what we want, and they'll ship up anything that we want. If I order 20,000 or something, I'll get the 20,000. We're not ordering 20,000 anything though, but I'll get my full quantity on the first shot. Then we'll have companies that are based in Japan but also manufacture in China. So we'll get pick up from their factories in
Hmm.
China, load it into our own containers, and we'll get that shipped over here. Bandai's a little different because Bandai is obviously a lot more popular than a lot of those companies. So when we'll place an order, sometimes we won't. They'll split our order in different batches.
Right.
So we'll get so many this batch, and then a week later we'll get this many, and then another week later we'll get this many.
Hmm.
So that's always a big challenge because people will post online that, oh, I got my item from USA Gundam Store. Well, somebody else that has a pre-order, well, theirs isn't
Hasn't
till
got. I
right. So it's
see.
all so sometimes that's a challenge trying to let people know how logistics work. Um, what else is a challenge? Just delays in
Delay.
general, delays for manufacturers, delays in shipping. We'll something will leave, either Japan or China, or even like Singapore, or where else do we get from over Thailand? From over there, it could get delayed at the port there in California, where it was supposed to unload, whatever this day. It might sit at the port for 5 more days because they're behind. So now that's 5 extra days that we didn't plan on it not getting to us.
Hmm.
So things like that happen all the time logistically. And then once it gets off the boat, it could get delayed with the truck. The truck could get stopped at a wait. We just had the Percival order that just came in from China. That actually we were supposed to receive 2 days before we got it, but it got stopped at a wait station here in Florida, so they can inspect it for 2 days. So things like that can cause delays.
It's not even like your
It's
fault. It's
so out of
just
my
yeah.
control. Yeah, it's completely out of our control until we receive it.
Right.
So that's kind of hard, and it can be very frustrating. There's been times where we had stuff on a train car, and the train car got damaged. So they, instead of taking our container off and putting it on a different train car, they moved that entire train car with our container on it to a repair station, repaired it for a month, and then gave it back and then they delivered it. So crazy things like that have happened where it's just wild. But those are probably the biggest challenges as far as like sourcing things.
Sort of something.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't think you guys struggle with like finding it, right? It's just more of getting it to the warehouse so you can ship it out,
Right.
maybe.
Yeah. Once you kind of get to a certain level, other manufacturers know who you are. So there's tons of manufacturers in China who know we are. Most, hobby manufacturers in Japan know who we are.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them will reach out to us.
Oh,
So
really?
I'll get
Okay.
emails almost every other day from, smaller companies or things like that from those areas saying, hey, we're making this model kit, or hey, we make this figure. We'd love for you to sell it. So at the beginning, it's hard because you're now trying to find all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As you grow and other stores start to search, if they just search Gundam, they're going to find us and they'll know we sell Gundam. So then they'll
Right.
find out our customer support email, and they'll send an email to that saying, hey, we sell this, you might like this too. And you start getting, finding sourcing things that way, which makes it a
Do
lot
you
easier.
have any, I guess, brands that like stood out for you that maybe you worked with, or do you started carrying their products that you're like,
Yeah, there's a company that reached out to us. It's actually a Canadian distributor, but they have a
hmm,
U.S. department too, called Lightspeed Global. So they're a wholesaler company, but they do. a lot of different tools and detail parts that they distribute to us that
Okay.
we didn't even know they were there, but they reached out to us and we found out, oh, you guys have all this stuff, great, we'll definitely order some for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're moving on. Like, so I guess the growing pains.
Oh man. Yeah.
Besides, I guess distributing, receiving, and shipping out kits. Do you have any other challenges you faced? You can talk about the pandemic as well as the tariffs and all that. There's quite a lot of things going around the world right now,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, there's challenges at least every week.
Mm.
I think the main thing is learning from those
Mm-hmm.
challenges and trying to make sure that, if you handle them improperly, making sure to learn from that and make sure you handle them properly next time.
Right.
COVID was, I think it was really bad for a lot of people, but for this kind of industry and a lot of retail outlets,
It was
it was
amazing.
great. Yeah. So, I mean, everyone's sitting at home. They don't have anything to do. They were buying everything. They got all this free money, so it was great for, if you were a store that sold hobby kits or games or whatever. The tariffs have been interesting. I think at first it was a little rough because we just didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't
We
know
have
what's
no,
gonna
all of a
happen.
sudden, somebody goes on the news and says, hey, your product's not going to be 150% more. So at that point, you're like, hold on, that is not going to work. But I think we've kind of navigated it through it pretty good. We haven't really had to raise prices too much. Some
Mm-hmm.
stuff has gone up here and there. So like at first we were going to do a tariff surcharge, but then I'm like, why? If we lose some money because somebody pre-ordered it and we didn't have to pay it, that's fine. If they want to get it and we can, take some of that burden,
Mm-hmm.
let them be happy that they were able to get the product. So we got rid of that. We didn't even do tariff surcharges, and we just kind of our tariff policy. I think after maybe like a week or two of, I think with a reciprocal tariff announcement, we just decided we're gonna price it how we need to price it,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure it's fair for everybody. So we've kind of feel like we've navigated that pretty well. Um, the biggest challenge when running a business is growing though
Mm-hmm.
is handing off responsibilities because at first I did everything. I
Yeah, I
answered
can imagine.
emails,
Yeah.
I packed the orders, and always in the back of your head, you're like, well, that person's not going to do as good a job as I did. So how's that going to impact our customers? So that's always a challenge to make sure you're hiring the right people,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you're training them properly to the way that you want it, and then making sure back to that hiring the right people, make sure that they want to do a good job. Because basically this company would not function without great people. I
Right.
think we have really good people that work here. I think they care about what they do, and it makes that decision to hand off responsibilities easier for me.
Easier. Okay.
But it's still very difficult to do. You want to
I,
hold
I
on to that and not let it
I could
go.
imagine just because like I mean even small things where you're like someone else has to do something that you're usually doing,
Hmm.
it's like you get a little worried
Yep.
because but this everyone's kind of like an extension of the
Right.
company. So I can imagine how hard that is. Um okay, so yeah, I mean yeah, going back to a little bit of the pandemic too, like a lot of people started building
Yeah.
during then. The
Yep.
amount of people that we meet, even on the podcast or outside, that said I started during the pandemic, it's nice. So, and then besides the pandemic, the holidays are
Hmm.
those a busy time of the year? I'm guessing.
Yeah, so we did a Christmas and July sale, which I guess isn't really a holiday, but it's a holiday for us. That was very good. This time of year is crazy. So from the start of our sale, we did I don't know if you watched the live stream today. Like I think we've done 20 something thousand orders in that
Mm-hmm.
time frame. So trying to get all that stuff out the door while you get pre-orders that arrive is definitely a challenge. But it's fun. I mean, we're moving and going, and it gives you something. But yeah, for sure, the holidays definitely make it busy.
Is Christmas like the busiest time
Yeah,
of the
it's
year
pretty much
or
from like Thanksgiving all the way through January.
January?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then people start getting their tax money back and stuff like that during January.
Like
So then
Christmas
people,
money
yeah,
and stuff
Christmas
like all the
money, yeah,
sales
yeah,
and but how do you deal with, I guess, the higher demands? Because I know you guys are open on Saturdays now.
hmm.
Is that also kind of like,
So that's only during the holiday season.
uh-huh.
So we're open. Pretty much the storefront's open because we're here packing. So why not have it open for people to come in? But we work the Saturday and Sunday after Thanksgiving. We work, and then we work all pretty much all the Saturdays up to Christmas,
Hmm.
just to try to get that extra volume out the door. So I think we've hired 3 people now too
Oh, really?
to try to get everything out as fast as we can. Our system's really good in the warehouse. My daughters use it. One of them's 7, one of them's 15. So it's very easy for people to pick up, which makes it nicer. So anyone that we hire in, they usually learn the system within a day, and they're kind of off on their own doing it, which is good.
I should be back there.
Yeah, hey, if you want to, we'll get you out there.
I'll help out. I'll help out get these kits out. Um, Talking about kits, what are the best selling and the worst selling? I don't know if you know the worst
Yeah,
selling,
so the
but
best selling, I always tell people, is probably the Masquerade Barbados, but
cause
that
of,
is only because of COVID.
yep.
So that was one of the kits that Bandai had for like Target and Hobby
Yeah.
Lobby. So that was one of like the SKUs that they were earmarked. And then during COVID, I think what happened is those stores were like, no, we need toilet paper, we need soap, we need masks. We're gonna hold off on the model kits. So I know, and then Bandai is in California. I think they weren't allowed to go into their main warehouse and pack up like split orders, but they could kind of go into their bulk warehouse. And I could be completely wrong about that. But that was one of the SKUs that I could order almost as many as I wanted of. So we got in like tons and tons of master grade Barbados.
Which is weird because you don't see them anymore. I don't know the
Well,
last time
yeah,
I
like
saw one.
they're getting. I think they're getting reprinted with the new Lupus.
Lupus.
Yeah. But yeah, like they had tons of them because they were shipping them out. You got to think like if one Target store, let's say there's 3,000 Target stores in the U.S., each one gets 2. That's 6,000 different Master Grade Barbadoses they have in their warehouse just for that. And then if they stop taking them, well, now they have all those sitting in their warehouse they need to get to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's maybe what happened. I'm just speculating, but we were able to order. There was like probably 20 different items that we could just get as many as we wanted of. Um, so that was definitely why that's like the number one seller,
Mm-hmm.
probably still to this day, just because we could get plenty of it whenever we needed it from
Yeah.
them at that time. The worst selling kit, I have no idea.
You have no idea. You probably have to scroll all the way
Yeah,
down.
yeah. I mean, there's been plenty of kits that didn't do well. There's been plenty of kits where I ordered a lot because I thought it would do well
Mm-hmm.
and then didn't do good. It just kind of depends. There'll be kits where we'll do really good pre-order, and then you'll start getting reviews that will come out, and then it just tanks because the reviews weren't very good, and the kit, maybe it just didn't live up to the hype once people
Yeah.
opened it and started building it. Maybe the pictures looked a little better than what the product actually was.
I
So
would
that's
say that
happened.
was my experience with the Black Trojan.
Yeah.
I think I waited for about a year and a half
Hmm.
because it got announced so long
It did.
ago.
Yeah.
And then I tried to put the fingers in, and I was like,
Yeah, the build quality just wasn't quite. It's a cool kit when it's done.
yes,
I think we have one in display. It just is a very difficult build.
it's not
So
for
it is a
beginners,
challenge,
but
but
it's worth it. I would say
yes.
it's worth it. I'm trying to paint it,
Okay.
but that's gonna be a lot of
Right. Yeah.
fixing to do. So with third parties, since we're talking about third party kits, how do you feel about them in
So
general?
we we will not order anything that is a direct copy of a Bandai product.
Right.
So I think Deban, they just literally take one for one. If it's a Masquerade Sotheby, they'll make a Masquerade Sotheby, and it's the
All
exact
right.
same kit as Bandai. We won't sell anything like that.
Fat
A
cat
lot of what
too.
you call third party are really not. When you think of third party, you think of like copycat kits. But for
They're
example,
not.
like all the SNAA kits, those
Mm-hmm.
are all their own design, their own thing. So they're not knockoff products. So there's nothing wrong with selling that.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own stuff. So a lot of these third party companies are making their own designs, making their own stuff.
Looks really good.
Really good stuff
Yeah.
that doesn't, that's really great pricing for it. You might get the same quality kit from another company, and it could be like $300 or $400 more than what you can get it for.
Mm-hmm.
If you're kind of looking at how many pieces, build quality, and so a lot of the kind of third party stuff is really been taken off, and it looks really great. And it's like I said, it's their own designs. They might take some aesthetics here and there, but for the most part,
Yeah.
it's theirs.
It takes maybe a little bit more effort, or because Bandai is so polished, it's
Yeah,
kind of hard to beat.
right.
But at the
But
same time, like,
Bandai, yeah, that's the best build quality you're ever probably gonna get for sure.
but I mean, third parties are catching up,
Oh yeah,
and I think that's also kind of a discussion that a lot of us are having is like, is Bandai gonna start catching up? Because I feel like third parties are like
They,
getting
I mean,
ahead.
yeah, I mean, you think of some of the gimmicks a lot of these kits have now, where all you got to do is take a magnet, hover over it, and all the LEDs light up.
Yeah,
You know, like right now, just Bandai doesn't have that. It's
and
usually a switch. I don't even
yeah,
think. Yeah, maybe the Perfect Grade new LED system might have something like that. I'm not sure.
it doesn't.
No, it's like a switch too. So you know, just from that aspect, just from an LED thing, how easy is it to turn them off, turn them
Hmm.
on with just a magnet, which is cool.
The Apex model kit even
Yeah,
has that.
yeah. Our
So
model kit that we
yeah,
designed definitely has that. So yeah, things like that. The third party companies have kind of maybe one up some of the gimmicks and different like options, I guess you have for
quality of
model
life
kits.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, so step it up. That's all. So what about best selling products?
yeah. So I mean, so our best selling product is our nippers.
Okay,
Probably just because you get free shipping when you put
okay,
one in your order. So and they're same quality as God hands, same factory,
I
same.
can vouch. I can
Yeah.
vouch.
So it's literally the same thing, just with our name on it. That's our best selling item. A lot of paints do really well. Repeat items, so paints, sanding sticks, a lot of those are usually top selling things because you
Hmm.
consistently need to buy the same thing over and over again. If it's white paint, everyone who's going to buy it, and you're going to need more than one bottle. So usually that stuff is usually your
You
best.
run out real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
It gets very expensive over time, but yeah, I can see that for sure. Talking a little bit more about, I guess, the hobby. Do you think the Gunpla hobby itself, or I guess just the Plamo hobby,
Mhm.
do you think it's grown over the years
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, massively.
massively?
It's interesting because like when I was growing up, like my dad would build model planes and tanks and stuff. I think that generation, unfortunately, is an older generation now,
Mm-hmm.
and then the newer generation, kind of like people my age and your age and maybe even younger, are getting into like more of like the Gundams, the robot stuff, and then once they're into that, it actually leads them back into cars, planes, and tanks, which is pretty interesting.
Interesting.
Because we've seen a lot of people now, which is why we now carry that stuff. Because we've
Mm,
gotten tons of emails from people, hey, I'm buying these Gundam models. My dad used to build this car. Can you guys get that? Because I can't find it anywhere. So things like that. That's what's
I
led us
did
back
see,
to,
yeah, all the car
yeah.
model kits too.
Because it's neat. Because then they can relate to their parents. They can probably build those with their parents. You know, probably a lot of our parents are like, "What is that? It's a robot kit. That's a girl model kit. Like, why am I building? I'm not gonna build that." But they'll build a tank with you or a plane with
That's
you.
true.
You know,
That's
so it's
true.
something you can do with your parents that they can relate a little bit easier.
My dad did also teach me
Okay.
Gunpla. That's
Yeah.
how I started.
Yeah, I
That's how I
remember you
got
telling
into
me
it.
that. Yeah.
So, are you trying to teach your kids to get into Gunpla?
Yeah. So my older daughter, I think she built every Haro that ever existed.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, she has tons of Haros and tons of like the little petty bear guys.
Mm-hmm.
So she has a whole bunch of those. She
Done.
hasn't built a model kit in a little while though.
Okay.
But then my middle daughter, she's kind of getting into like the Pokemon kits and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
So and then my son, he's 3. He'll probably chew on them or something. So yeah,
But
right
maybe
now.
when he gets older, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
You have probably the biggest toy warehouse in this place.
In this area for sure. So.
Do you see any trends within, I guess, since you've opened the store, like kind of like trends on like what's popular or what's going
I mean,
on?
it's probably just the same kind of trends in most industries. Anything new.
Mm,
So if Bandai comes out with a new series, all their kits are going to sell,
jukebox.
usually pretty fast and be pretty popular until the next series comes out. Um, right now, there's kind of a trend where a lot of older kits are getting reprinted. So like the Masquerade O. There's the Full Armor RX-78. It's the green one, really
Yep.
old. That's getting a reprint. So there's a few older kits right now that Bandai's reprinting, which is nice. So we're kind of seeing that trend with them, kind of going back in their catalog, which is great. Because a lot of new builders, since a lot of people got on with COVID, they don't even know those things exist.
Yeah,
So to them, it's a brand new kit,
I
which is neat.
see.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, it's just there's no real like standout trends other than that. What's new is what's popular.
Out of all the Gundam series, as a shop owner, do you know which one is the most popular? Or I guess
I mean, IBO always does really
IBO?
well.
Okay.
which I think it's the generation. What is I'm trying to think. Seed, and then from Seed, what did it just go to IBO? What was in between that? I think there wasn't anything in between
I
there, was
think
it?
IBO is after seed. No, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, IBO is after Seed,
Mm-hmm.
but was there anything in between Seed and IBO?
Double O.
Double O. Okay, yeah, Double O. I'm losing it. But Double O to IBO, there's a good period of time I think between that then. So a lot of younger people, because Double O came out, IBO came out before COVID too, but the IBO kits are good. So that one usually does pretty well. Gundam Wing kits
Mm-hmm.
always do extremely well here in the United States. Bandai now made, because they have high grade P Bandai ones, of like the heavy arms, the
Dead
wing,
side,
yeah,
yeah,
Death
all of
Scythe. Well,
that.
now those are all regular release here in the
Yes,
U.S., which is cool. So
which is
it just
nice.
leads to how popular that series is here in the States.
Do you like Gundam Wing?
I do.
Okay.
Yes. I
Me
tried
too.
rewatching it though, and but
I could watch the movie, not the show.
yeah,
But the designs are like, I feel like a lot of people who are getting into Gunpla now
Mhm.
really don't like them for
Yeah.
some reason. They're like that side with the clown shoes and
Yeah,
why does
yeah.
a mech need angel wings? But I think there is some like I don't know what the word for it, but like nostalgia
Yeah.
for it. So finally, do you have any plans for the future for this store?
For this store, just to kind of grow. We have a lot of cool like sales and marketing stuff planned for next year. A lot of pretty cool events,
Mm.
where you can get some freebie stuff, and then we have a lot of plans for doing more like classes in the build room.
Oh, okay.
New different things for build days, stuff like that. As far as like expanding into other building places, other state, we're never gonna probably do that. Probably just stay here.
I
Yeah.
think it's big enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we're excited to see what happens in 2026. If you want to announce the build day also, or just
Yeah.
kind of give context
If
on
you're
it.
in the area, build day is the Saturday before, so not this Saturday coming up, but next Saturday. I think that's what, the 20 something
27.
27th. Is it the 27th? No, it's the one before Christmas, so it would be the 22nd.
Oh, the Saturday? Then
Yeah.
it'll be 20th. Oh, yeah, it'll be 20th.
Yep. So the 20th. So 20th is our build day. Yeah, we'll have little Haro ornaments that you guys can make. Come early. Those probably will go pretty quick, but yeah.
Can I sleep in the warehouse?
If you want, you can hang out with a cat. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then you have one normally every second Saturday or
Usually
first
it's
Saturday?
every third Saturday of the month.
Okay.
Usually, we usually post it up on our social media. We send out emails. So if you are in the area and you think you're around that time, just look up on our Facebook, Instagram, and usually it's posted on there when our next one is.
Please come. I'll be there too.
Yeah.
So last but not least, we're gonna do a Q&A segment. I
Okay.
asked the viewers to ask us some questions, some
Awesome.
interesting ones. So the first one is, did you ever catch anyone stealing Gunpla?
So that's a good question. No. So I've never caught somebody red-handed stealing. We've had
Mm-hmm.
instances where we assumed it was a specific person, um, but we would just kind of have meetings with everybody saying, hey, we noticed some of this stuff was missing. Just kind of pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you're putting it in the right places. Maybe you misplaced it somewhere. So usually that kind of weeds out, okay, they're kind of onto me maybe taking stuff, but do we 100% know? No, we never caught anybody. So yeah, that's a good question though.
It would be fun if you, I mean, it would be terrible,
Yeah.
but it would be funny if you got a camera.
Hopefully never have to deal with it, but yeah.
Yeah, hopefully not. So the second question, how do you navigate the pressure to price competitively compared to your competitors?
Yeah, so we do the best that we can with the margins that we need to make to be able to stay open.
Right.
So there's some things where we can run a better price. We're also subject to what manufacturers allow us to go to. So
Right.
there's things called MAP pricing, minimum advertised pricing. So we have to sign contracts with like Bandai for one, Kodogo Kia is another one, where we cannot advertise a specific product below a certain percentage of what the wholesale cost was or what the retail price is. So you'll have stores that will, they don't have a lot of overhead. They might market all the way to what the bare minimum of that is. And then you'll have other stores that,
To the max.
right. Yeah. So Usually we're kind of in the middle or right around what the suggested prices by the different manufacturers. Um, but then we can run different sales.
Mm.
And that kind of helps with, if we run a 15 or 20% off sale for a week, well, that's just a sale period. Things like that we're allowed to do. We just can't say, hey, this kit is this price forever. So that's why probably you'll see some sales here and there, just trying to get things at a cheaper, better price for our customers.
Do you see a lot of people take advantage of those sales? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
for sure. Yeah, anytime. Usually that's when a lot of your orders come through is when you have
okay.
sales. So
Do you have any end of the year sales coming up that you might be
we
able to announce?
do.
Okay,
Stay tuned.
okay, yeah, stay tuned. This is a question from, I guess, someone who might start a Gunpla store, I guess.
Oh
But
man, future competitor.
yeah, future competitor. Would it be wise to invest in a Gunpla store? Is it more of a hobby fulfilling thing to do?
Is it why? I think it worked out for me.
Okay.
I think if you are passionate about anything that you want to do, what if you're passionate about it, then it probably will be,
Mm,
in your best interest to do. Is this industry? This industry is difficult because you can't order things right when you sell out of it and get it back in stock right away.
right.
It's very cash heavy,
Uh-huh.
so you've got to order enough to stay in stock until Bandai decides to make it again.
Which you don't know when.
Correct. So it could be next month they make it again. It could be next year. It could be 5 years from now. So you don't really know. A lot of the newer stuff they'll kind of make every month, so you can
Hmm.
kind of get it in. But a lot of the stuff, once you sell out, you sell out. Like anime figures are usually one and done. They'll make it one time,
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
then once it's done, usually you don't make a reprint of it. Popular stuff they will, like if there's a second season of a series, sometimes
Mm.
they'll come out. But for the most case, usually anime figures are one and done, which is
It's a
and they're
hard
expensive.
industry.
Yeah, they're expensive
Oh,
too because if you
expensive.
order a bunch and you don't sell them, then you're kind of just all that money's just sitting there collecting dust. So
I'm guessing that has happened before,
yeah,
where you sat
yeah,
with a big inventory of stuff that you need
yeah.
to get rid
So
of.
like a lot of things. So we have a clearance section, so you mark it
Oh, yeah.
down. Some stuff you'll lose money on, but it's better to get it out the door than just let it sit there and just keep collecting.
Hmm.
You can use that money to then buy something that does sell well. Um, yeah, I mean it's an interesting industry. Is it for everybody? No. Yeah, I think I mean just recently another store announced that they were
Yeah.
closing. So, it just comes down to you and your business management and how you are able to do it, handle it.
And this kind of connects to that is, was
Yeah.
there a moment in your journey as an owner that made you realize that Gunpla isn't just about model kits, but a space where people find identity, creativity, and sometimes even comfort?
That is an awesome question. And I knew what it was for me.
Mm.
Um, and I think when something you feel that way about a specific thing, you automatically assume other people do that
Hmm.
are in it. And what's interesting kind of through this journey of having this store is a lot of people share that same exact thing that I have with it, how much I love it, how much I like all the different designs, even like the anime figures, which I think are
Right.
cool. I mean, just anime in general. But there's also then other people that have a different view of it.
Mm.
Um, Not a negative view, but it helps them in a different way than when it helps me. Some people like it because it's fun. Some people
Hmm.
like it because it brings them comfort. Some people like it because it's just a way to kind of take them out of the world, not have to worry about any problems, and they can just So like some people that go to the gym, that's their spot.
Yeah, yeah.
This is kind of the same thing for some people that build model kits. So it's neat seeing what it is for everybody, and it. I don't know if there was ever a specific point where I'm like, oh, this is like this all. I think it's just an accumulation of every day, every hour, every year doing this and interacting with our customers.
I'm guessing a build day is a
Yeah,
great time to
yeah,
see like what it means, because like I've been into a few and people are really passionate. Like they
yeah.
show up ready to build. They can't like wait to talk to people about
Right.
it, which is a hard thing to do. Is I feel like Gundam and Gunpla is, it's big enough, but not big enough to the point where you can just go out anywhere and talk to someone about it.
Right.
So finding people like in real life outside of social media to be able to just talk to like someone about it is
Yeah.
like such a nice environment.
I mean, that's what's awesome about build days, not just here, but I mean, if any of you guys have stores that do build days around you, I would highly suggest going to
Go.
them because it just makes it it's just fun because you get to meet other people that are into what you're into. You actually have somebody you can talk to about different things that relate to that hobby. So whether it be, I know there's some hobby towns that have build days. There's other stores that do build days.
I
Go to
think
your build days.
I
Yeah.
think usually like even just like smaller stores,
Hmm.
like small businesses that
Right.
are not like the big franchises, they have a lot of build days, or they
Yeah.
try to set up,
Yeah.
or just host one at your house. I've done it a few
Yeah. You
times
can do that too.
before I knew we had a build day. I did it at my house. I
Oh
just
yeah.
asked my friends
Nice.
to come over and build. Um, Usually after 2 hours, that just turns into
Yeah.
yapping. But
Yeah.
the last question is, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it in the camera frame. There's a lot of P Bandai kits like all over, but is it worth stocking up on P Bandai kits and more rare releases? What's your
Um,
opinion about it?
if you like the kit, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about buying two or three of a kit, but
Mm-hmm.
if it's something you like, buy it. Because you don't know with PBN if they're ever gonna make it again.
Mm-hmm.
There's kits that they will reprint. For example, all the like Master Grade Wing Endless Waltz kits, they kind of reprint at least once a year,
Yeah.
especially here in the States. But there could be a one-off kit that they make that they might not make for a while. So I like the Master Grade Powered Gym. I love. They came out with
Interesting.
it like 3 years or 4 or 5 years ago. They had it, and I got it then, and they just re-released it this year. So I
Yeah.
did get another one.
Okay.
But I mean, there's a 5 year period in between there, and it is a P Bandai kit. So things like that, if it's something you like, I would get it while they're having it up
Especially
there.
for P Bandai, because there's a higher chance that people will resell it for a much more
Oh yeah,
expensive price
yeah,
tag. And that's one thing that I do tell people is like, I think in general, you shouldn't be paying much more above the stock price when it
right.
comes to model kits in general, or like, especially Bandai, because it will get
It
reprinted,
will,
just a matter of time.
right.
Just a matter of time. But yeah, that's it for all the questions.
Awesome.
Thank you. We'll be linking down everything related to USA Gundam Store in the comment section below, as well as any other socials that you want us to promote. Feel free to come to the build day that's
Yes.
happening on 20th of December this month, and then from now on, the first Saturday. Also, we'll be doing a charity stream soon, so I'll link that, and I'll do an announcement for that, which is also sponsored by USA Gundam Store.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Donate. Go on there and donate.
And please check out all the links down below. And thank you for this episode.
Yeah. No. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It was awesome. It was fun talking to you and answering all the questions.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.